All right, I'm excited to be here with Anthony and our one of our Hive users, Deandre Anderson. His Instagram handle is Flipping Contracts Dre. We're actually here today because this is Meet the Hive. So he's one of our Hive users, and we have an exciting announcement that he's one of our first users to have a 100K month in the month of June 2020. So, or 2021, should I say? But we're excited to have him here and Anthony here. So let's get it kicked off.
What's going on, Deandre?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys?
Really good, man. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to hang out with us, man. We know you're on fire. I know there's a lot of people, trying to take up your time with all the success you've been having lately. So again, congrats on your success in the real estate game. And then another, congrats on your success actually in the Hive Mind. So Deandre is heading towards the #1 recruiter of the software for the Hive Mind software, man. So we didn't even know that until this morning either. So you're crushing it, man. You actually got another sign up this morning too for an affiliate. So yeah, man, congrats. You're just firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, people reach out. They say, hey, like just like what you said, where you get your success from. Like, hey, the CRM helps. So I give them my link, and then I say, hey, if you have any questions or concerns, always reach out. So I think it's pretty dope. And they're more attracted to the results. They see the results, and then that's what attracts, which is awesome.
No, that's cool, man. You're crushing it, man. And one thing I've always admired about you, because you've been in since the beginning with the Hive Mind when we found you on a Clubhouse, and you just turned out to be a really cool guy. What I found out about you, man, is that no matter what level of success you reach, you're always giving and helping the community. I see that all around you, people reaching out to you for help and that. So I kind of wanted to touch on that real quick. And that you're a giver. Where do you feel like that comes from, man? Is that something like in your background, how you were raised, or what? Or is that naturally how you've always been?
I think it's natural, but then I think it also comes from a place where I was in their shoes at one time, where I just got into the real estate game. I was watching all the YouTube videos. I was Google searching. I was reading all the books I could read, but I didn't really have any guidance. I really didn't have anyone to say kind of guide me or mentor me or point me in the right direction. And I basically had to kind of figure out everything on my own, with taking courses online, flying out the seminars, and watching more YouTube videos, just reading books. So now, if I can cut that learning curve in half for someone else who's in the same position I was in, then I'm really glad to do that. But I still do think it's natural, because I've always been a giver. Sometimes I can care about others more than I can care about myself. But I think it comes from a real good natural place.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's one thing that I did notice about you. Like I said, I know you got a lot of deals going on. You have probably a lot of contracts, a lot of people to talk to, sellers to talk to, buyers to talk to. You have a million things going on, but you always carve out a piece of your day and your time to help others. Yeah, so that really stands out to me, man. So I appreciate that, and I honor that. That's dope, man. And it shows like, if you put things out into the universe like that, like it's possible that it's going to come back, whether you're looking for that or not. You're the prime example of that, dude. So super glad to be working with you, and yeah, man, you're crushing right now. So we want to, I guess, dive in a little bit and find out what you've been doing, in the past, and then kind of, where you are now, and then where you feel like you're headed in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so in the past, I first started out doing houses. I was doing like single family houses, and I was working strictly FSBO, so basically for sell by owners, all on Zillow. Like I won't forget the days, right? I literally go on Zillow, and I literally filtered like the entire state. So for example, in Florida, right, on Zillow, you get to filter the entire state. So I'll literally put Zillow FSBOs, right? And I'll filter it from least to the highest, like kind of like from how can I explain it? From like the lowest price point houses down to the highest price point, right? So because the lowest houses on Zillow were the ones that I knew that were in distress, and I literally used to just make an Excel sheet and just cold call everyone on that list. So that's kind of where I started with wholesaling, getting into real estate, and then I moved over to getting into land. That's when I met Derby and I met Jared and everything. And then they taught me about land. I flew out to the seminar in Atlanta, and everything I learned there with land it's just been priceless. So right now I'm strictly doing infill residential lots, wholesaling to builders and developers all throughout Florida.
So that's how you got into land, actually, with Derby and Jared?
Yeah, Derby and Jared are
that's
the ones
dope.
that actually taught. Yeah, they are the ones that actually taught me how to wholesale land. I flew to their event, and then now, the relationship has just been, tight since then. But yeah, they're the ones who taught me the method. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, because I know you hang around with them, so I just automatically assume you guys been buds for life, like y'all both been in the game forever together.
And
Right.
the other question I have is how long you been doing this? Because a lot of people feel like, how long does it take to get to where you want to be? And for some people it's 6 months, and we've seen that, and some people it's 2, 3 years, 4 years. What has that timeline been for you?
So when I very first started, I started February 2019. All right. That's when I started. So it's been, it's been a couple years, but it actually took me about a year and a half, like maybe a year and a couple months to actually close my first real estate transaction. So it took a while. I remember my first deal closing June June 2020, right? So it took a minute, right? But between those years and those dates, I was learning. I was networking with people. I was going to real estate events. Like I was continuously learning, continuously reading, and I was meeting a lot of cool people along the way. So I would say now I've probably been at it about maybe 2.5, almost 3 years now in total, I believe, if I did the math correctly. So about 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, I think we started right around the same time, because I think me and Anthony started 2019 January, and I think he got a deal like his first 30 days, and for me it took me 7 months. So it shows that a lot of people, they go at different paces, and there's no wrong way to do it as long as you don't quit. I think it's the biggest thing, because a lot of people, they see a lot of failure. They might get yelled at by a homeowner or an agent or something, and they quit right at that spot. But I think perseverance is one of the biggest things when it comes to real estate, just because when you're first starting out, you have to overcome a lot of issues, as far as like, I don't have enough money to buy this property. Why am I contracting it? Like, you have like an imposter syndrome, you know?
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with persistency, right? A lot of people, when they first get into real estate, they see all the assignment fees, they see the kind of the results, and they think, oh, I'm just going to do this and make money too. But they don't understand that this isn't get rich quick, right? It takes persistence. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of hard work, honestly. And what I had to learn about, just real estate investing in general, you're gonna have to embrace a lot of delayed gratification, right? I feel like anybody else in my shoes doing it for a year and a half with no results, spending all this money going to these courses, I'm talking about knocking on doors. I used to go to the county, knock on the doors, find foreclosure lists. I basically did everything, right? I never forget putting on a suit, driving around the neighborhood, just knocking on, beat up houses, right? I never got a deal from doing that, right? But a lot of people, that discourages them. But it just kept me going, because I figured one day it was gonna happen for me, so I just kept going.
What made you stick with it like that, man? Because I think that's something that I see in this business, is that people come in and then they go away, right? Or they just lose confidence, and then maybe they spend a little bit of money they had in their pocket, and they're out. Like, so what gave you that drive to just want to stick with it? Like, how did you know that you were going to win it? Like, what gave you that?
Well, it was just everything that I learned. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It was reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Just reading that book, it really opened my mind, and it really gave me a lot of information that I never knew. That book basically kind of changed my world, entire life, right? But what drove me after that, it was just, I didn't want to be working for someone the rest of my life, right? Working 9 to 5, clocking in every day, being on someone else's clock, building someone else's asset, right? And not mine. He said all in the book, like, people, they work their entire lives, they build someone else's asset, right? And then they have basically nothing to show for it, right? They're in their 60s, they're retired, they have nothing to show for all that hard work. So I figured I didn't want that to be me, right? So I figured I'll work for myself, create my own business, and create my own assets, right? And I knew that was going to start from me, no one else. So that's what kept me driving. So whenever I got discouraged, whenever I felt like, this thing doesn't work, I just kept thinking, whose asset am I building up? Am I going to build someone else's, or am I going to build mine? It's easy to go on Indeed and apply for a job, and someone hires you for 10, 15 bucks an hour. That's easy, right? But it's hard for you to start a business, build your own assets, hire employees, and do things of that nature. So that's what kept me going. I really just, I call myself unemployable, because I got fired. I got fired at so many jobs. I probably got fired from over 5 jobs, right? So I was unemployable. So I basically had no choice but to work for myself because I just didn't want to keep working for other people, you know.
I think it's a funny statement of unemployable. There was a point where, like, once I opened my eyes to the knowledge and information of business and entrepreneurship, at that point I was unemployable because I was a really good employee. But once my eyes were open to the potential, I was like, I can't work here anymore. Like, why am I here at this point? Like, I know where I want to be and I know how to get there, and it's going to take a lot of work and it might take a couple of years to get there. But it's at that point, it was like a switch, and I'm like, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this for much longer, should I say? And I don't know, man. It's definitely a hard decision, but I think one of the biggest things that separates a lot of people is information. There's a separation of information that once you learn and are educated about uh, just opening your eyes to opportunity, you see the world differently.
Yeah, agreed.
Let me ask you, Deandre, because like it sounds like you had that internal compass, right? And I think that's something in business that can't be taught, right? So you already knew you were going to make it. You know, you started reading these powerful books. It seems like your personality type, you were already unemployable before you even knew it. Right. And so that's something that you can't really teach. Maybe you can get inspired. Maybe you can watch a video, you get fired up, you know, that kind of stuff. But sometimes you just got to have that internal drive, and there's nothing that can teach that. So let's say, I'm sure there's somebody that's watching this video right now, and they're kind of in that stage where they feel like they're stuck or they're stagnant, something like that. What do you feel like is a catalyst to get a person that goes from, you know, being stuck to actually getting into success in this business? If you had to like focus down maybe to one or two top things, what do you feel like can break a person through out of stagnation and get them into momentum?
I would say pick something, right? Pick something and focus on it, right? So pick something and focus on it. And then number two, who you're hanging around, right? Because what we don't know is that a lot of the people that we hang around with, they're not driven. They don't really have goals and things of that nature, right? So I changed who I was hanging around, and I just started focusing on one thing, right? And with those two things, that's what I really feel like helped me get to where I am now because of the people I met, and because I said, you know what, I'm gonna focus on wholesaling. I'm gonna do this real estate thing. I'm gonna focus on wholesaling, and I'm just gonna shoot it like I'm gonna stay laser focused at it. And because I stay laser focused, right, I'm talking about from 7 in the morning up to 10, 11 at night, right? Researching properties, making offers, right? And then also everyone who was in my circle, you know, I would call them kind of like loser friends in a sense, who are just kind of playing video games, hanging out on the weekends, not really doing much. They weren't really helping me, right? We're all in the same circle, we're all broke together, right? So I had to detach myself from that circle. And when I got out of that circle, then I started going into other circles, right? People doing real estate, people who have like e-commerce businesses, people who are making money, you know, with their businesses, online things of that nature. So when I started connecting with those people, then I started hanging out with them. And honestly, I even started going to random networking events. Like I'll literally Google, you know, real estate networking events, and I'll see a bunch of them, and I'll just drive. Oh, they're having one next week, and I'll literally just go drive to it, and just to go. I was literally searching for a new circle. So focusing on one thing and changing your circle and the people around you. So I encourage everyone to really, you know, just like everyone says, your network is your net worth. I challenge everyone who's going to be watching this video now and in the future, you know, look at the top 5 or 6 people you hang out with the most outside your family, right? And then really determine, like, you know, are they where they want to be? Are they miserable, right? Are they complaining about money? What do they complain about? Are they where you want to be? Can you see yourself in their position in the next couple of years, right? And if the answer is no, then I wouldn't say necessarily don't be friends with them, but you may have to just keep your distance and, you know, attach and gravitate to people who are where you want to be, who are making more money than you, more successful than you, right? Maybe they're a better father than you, husband than you, whatever it is, right? Attach to those people so you can be better, right? So those are the 2 things I recommend.
I think that's dope, man. That's super powerful. I think, you know, evaluating your circle, and that's something that can be very intimidating to somebody, because sometimes these people, like you said, like they're your best friends. You know, like all my friends that I grew up with, I would say like 4 of my like really, really close friends that I would consider like best friends. I've told them all a million times about real estate and they could care less about it. Like, cool, that's awesome, good for you. And for me, it's like, it drives me nuts. Like, what do you mean? I'm trying to teach you how to like freaking have a whole entire different like paradigm shift, a whole different world to be opened up to, and they're just like, awesome for you. All right, then. I'll just go find a new circle then. So sure enough, yeah, my business contacts like yourself, Daniel, all these people that I met in business happen to be the people that I talk to more, more than my quote unquote regular friends, right? That I know, that I grew up with. So that's super cool, man. That's super powerful. Getting yourself around those types of people.
Yeah, and I 100% agree, because like I really didn't know, like when Robert Kiyosaki said in his book, right? He was like, a lot of people are broke and poor, right, because they take advice from poor people, right? And that statement hit me like a ton of bricks, And I'm just thinking, right, who am I taking advice from? And I'm like, oh man, like all my friends, some of my family who are not in the position that I wanted to be in, right? Struggling, really not knowing what they're gonna do with their lives, right? So I was really taking advice from those people. And then my friends, they were very negative, especially like how you said I brought up real estate. They're like, you can't buy a house. You don't have no money. You can't sell a house. You ain't got no money. They was like, you know what? You go do it, and if it works for you, then come back, right? So it was just all the kind of negative, no positivity to it. But when the conversations came up about partying or hanging out or females or whatever, then everyone wants to talk. I bring up real estate, financial literacy, everyone's quiet. No one wants to talk. They're like, I'm like the black sheep, like, oh, Deandre's talking about money again, So it was literally, that's exactly what happened. But it is what it is at this point. Now they're reaching out like, hey, teach me, is working for you. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm kind of on the time crunch, right? I have employees to pay. I got a business to run, right? I can't dedicate as much time as I wanted to at the time, right? So it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think Daniel and myself, we talk about that too, because we started in real estate about the same time. Same thing. You're reaching out to people, you're reaching out to some of the hitters, or you're trying to find other people who are already in momentum and they kind of push you aside or whatever. Or even the people that are, at your same level, you try to put them on, you try to say, hey man, check this out. I'm about to do something amazing. I think you should come with me. And then again, they push you aside. So we're just like, all right, then, all right, we're going to remember, we're going to hold no grudges, but we're going to remember those people that pushed us aside, when we were trying to grow. And like you said, man, yeah, now you get to the point to where your phone just blowing up all day long. And then you got somebody else that, you were trying to help 2 years ago, like, hey man, I'm ready. Like, man, tough for me to circle back to grab you now, like we're flying right now. And I still help everybody no matter what, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, it is tough to take somebody seriously after they didn't take it seriously, when you were kind of on that level. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that, man. So how does somebody get in contact with you, man? I mean, if they say, hey, Dre, I want to learn what you're doing, like, what do you recommend for somebody to reach out to you? I know your time is very limited, so where would you push those people, to learn more from you and grow with you and check out everything you're doing?
Yeah, I say you can follow me on Instagram at Flipping Contracts Dre. Shoot me a DM. I'll get back to you as soon as my earliest convenience. I also have different videos, different posts on my page that you may be able to learn something, you may be able to relate to it. But the best thing to do is follow me on Instagram, and then shoot me a DM, and I'll try to get back to you like as soon as I can. Right, inbox is kind of slammed with everyone hitting me up for different reasons, like people in the wholesaling group, some people with the hive, things of that nature. So if you do want to learn more about me, ask me questions, things of that nature, Instagram is the best place to go.
Dope, man. I was going to ask you now too about like the mechanics of what you do, because I know what you and I do. We're both in the land business. I think we're dope. We're both doing exceptionally well, right? Not a secret.
Right.
And then we have two completely different niches, right? Like I'm like a farm and ranch guy, acreage and all that. And then you do the infill lots, which is something that I know little to nothing about. So can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what do your strategies look like? I love the motto, man. I've been like fascinated by it since we met. So can you tell the folks kind of how it works, what you target and what you go after?
Yeah, so we basically go after the building companies, man. Like every market has a DR Horton, right? Every market throughout the United States, they have some type of big building company, right? Or even if you're driving down the street in the neighborhood, you might see a new house being built, right? Someone's building those houses, right? So I mean, just try to make it fast as I can. We basically reach out to those guys, right? We reach out to these big building companies, right? Even the local or small builders, right? And we get in contact with them and we build a relationship with them. We say, hey, are you looking for more land in this area, in this city, in this county, in this state? And they say, yeah, what do you got? And it's like, we start talking to them, we build a relationship. And it's kind of like, hey, I wholesale and, infill lots to builders and developers. I love to get your buy box, see where you're buying, see what you're looking for. And then we can bring you those lots. And then based on that buy box and that buyer's criteria, whether it's a big builder or small builder, right? Like whatever the parameters are, I start going after those infill lots. And generally, the infill lots are basically like single family lots, right? So on the subdivision, you may be riding through a neighborhood and you see two houses, and in the middle of it, you may see a patch of grass, or you might see some dirt, and you're like, it looks like a house that's supposed to be there, right? Those are kind of the pieces of land that I'm going after, right? Infill lots, those small parcels, right? And I basically reach out to those homeowners, right? I look for them. I'm the homeowners, ask them, do they want to, do they want to sell it, right? They don't want to sell you the piece of land. And then I basically go to my building company, right? Say, hey, how much can you guys pay for this piece of land, right? And for example, they may say, hey, Deandre, that's a nice piece of land. I'll definitely pay $50,000 for that piece, right? And then I'll go back to the seller, right? And I'll probably say, hey, after some due diligence, we're able to pay $30,000 for your piece of land, right? Just to create some room for negotiation in case they counter me, right? So that in essence, that's kind of what I do. So let's say we after negotiations, we agree to do 40, right? So instead of 30, they talk me up to 40. So I get them in a contract for 40,000, right? And then I send an assignment to my building company for 50,000, and then I make 10,000 in the middle. The seller gets his 40,000, the builder gets the lot, and then everyone walks away happy, scot-free. If we're all not happy, then it's not a good transaction. So in essence, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Man, love the strategy, man, to have something pre-sold before you even lock it up. I think that's honorable too, because a lot of people are out there locking up stuff that they have no intention of selling, right? They get themselves into big trouble, fraud, all that. So I freaking love the model, man. It's amazing. And that one client can take, like, they can place I call it like a pre-order, right? They could say, hey, I want 5 of these lots or 10 of these lots. So that is super dope, man. You just pull, you do a lot of more driving for dollars. You pull lists. Are you calling, texting? I think you're pretty big on texting right now, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty big on texting, and I'm doing both. I'm pulling lists and I'm driving for dollars, right? So I outsourced that more recently. So I have a driving for dollars virtual assistant. She's in the Philippines. She does all my driving for dollars, and she does the list pulling, right? And then I have another virtual assistant also in the Philippines. They're actually sisters, to be honest with you. And she does all the texting. She uploads the list. She does all the texting, and she basically pre-qualifies the lead, and she does all the follow-ups, right? So that way, right now, I'm only dealing with the hot and the warm leads, and she's taking care of all the cold leads. So a lot of texting, not really much, to be honest with you, not much cold calling. Only time I get on the phone is if a seller requests I get on the phone, or if it's just a smoking hot deal, I need to call them right away. Or if they or if they call me, then I'll call them back. But generally, 99.99% of our deals are strictly through text. But yeah, list pulling, driving for dollars, and texting. That's it.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. You're crushing it, and that's cool that you're also innovating too. Like once you found a little niche, found a little pocket, found a way to outsource it, make it into a real business, man. So that's dope too. I think we wanted to talk a little bit about the event that you guys have coming up in Fort Lauderdale, September 25th with Derby and them. Do you want to just kind of plug that a little bit, talk about what's going to be going on? I know there's going to be maybe a little mastermind the next day. I don't know if that's private, but you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's gonna be an event where they're basically gonna be going over the entire strategy, right? They're gonna be bringing in, I think they're gonna be bringing in a land acquisitions manager from a building company, right? They're gonna be bringing in other speakers who are, I think they're gonna be bringing in like someone who does like mortgages, right? Also, someone like more like other land experts. They're gonna be bringing on like a lot of testimonials, right? People who literally started with nothing, like from ground zero, like learning this strategy, and now they overcame all the obstacles. They're going to be speaking on stage, right? And as far as the mastermind, the mastermind is the next day after, and that mastermind is going to be more focused on scaling, putting systems and processes in place, seeing how can you scale this business versus just doing everything yourself. Like how can you hire, delegate tasks, and things of that nature. I think it's going to be a pretty dope event. I'll be talking at it. My partner Jeff is going to be talking as well, which is going to be pretty dope. So if you can make it, they haven't released when they're gonna when she hasn't released like how to sign up and get the tickets yet. But I'll definitely follow me on Instagram, write me a DM, and then when the tickets are available, I'll hit you up, let you know, hey, tickets are available. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty awesome event.
No, it looks really exciting, man. Yeah, that's super cool. I'm glad to be, taking part in that. It's super, super cool. Can't wait to meet everybody and check it out. Yeah, I'll be there too. I'll be speaking on stage too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Anthony's gonna be there too. Yeah.
I bring a little bit of a different view, right, from the farm and ranch, the Texas stuff. Show
Yeah, I
them
So
think it's needed. Yeah, I think it's needed though. I think a different perspective is needed because we all do info lots, right? And then Anthony's gonna come and talk about farm and ranch, right? You may relate to some more than others, right? So that I think that's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
it's something cool just to keep your radar on for too. You know, no matter what, if you're doing the infill lots and then hey, this lady called me, she said she has 60 acres, you know, right outside the city. Like, yeah, let's take a closer look at that. Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we want to ask you a really direct question. And how has the hive mind system accelerated your business? I think we're all curious to know because we feel like we have a really cool product, but we love seeing people excel using our product. So can you tell us like how the hive mind has accelerated your business? Because you're already doing well, but we feel like this might have sparked something else.
Yeah, it definitely did spark it. And let me tell you, the Hive has helped me. It's helped my business so much, right? Because number one, I didn't even have a CRM. I was still on Excel sheets and doing it that way, right? But when I was introduced to the Hive, it was like, oh my gosh, I get to keep all my Excel sheets in one place. I don't have to pull up 10 different Excel sheets. Everything was in house, right? And also, I'm really like fathom with the organization, right? Like the different buckets, like in the pipeline, right? Because the issue I was having, number one, my follow-up game was not that good. Number two, a lot of my leads were falling through the cracks, right? Like the people, like for example, like someone who I hit up, Monday, let's say that, well, let's just say this month of July, and then they're ready to sell in December, right? I wouldn't have no system, no process in place to still get in contact with those people, right? So the Hive really helps me with my 30, 60, 90-day follow-up. It helps me with all the, getting the people who we text, right, and who they don't respond to me, right. I get to keep track of those people. I get to keep track of the people who responded, the people who are interested and deal with like the warm and the hot leads. Also, when we do lock up a deal, right, I get to keep track of who's on the contract, right, all in one space. And also with the notes, right, the notes help me stay organized as well. Any issues that come up with the seller, any issues that come up even with buyers, the title company, we have notes. So since I have so many contacts in the CRM, I'll click on the name and I'll say, okay, well, I kind of forgot about this, so let's see what's going on. I look in the notes and I'm like, oh man, I remember now, right? Just one or two words spark like, okay, I remember this seller. I talked on the phone with him, or this seller is going to be going overseas, so we're going to try to push closing a week earlier, things of that nature. So it really helps the organization. It helps everything flow, and it's really keeping staying organized. And you're kind of you're really able to create your entire business around it. Literally, like all my training videos and my virtual assistants is based throughout the Hive, right? And the flow charts, like the Hive help my business flow. Everything is flowing. And if there's something that's not working right or something that's going wrong, I can find the issue right away and I can plug that leak, right? So the Hive is really good for that versus like, you're doing working with Excel sheets and not having a system in place. Or even maybe some other CRMs that don't really do that. Just being able to keep everything in-house, organized, and flowing is just pretty awesome. So with that organization, it literally, I guess the Grant Cardone, people basically 10x my business, right? So the CRM 10x my business, Hive Mind.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things, because like I said, we use it for our business too, and our even like keeping track of HiveMind users and stuff like that. So like a lot of my duties and job is just one-on-one support, and I'm training VAs to do that now. So like a lot of it is just 100% automated. And I think we have to talk to Derby about hosting an event and selling tickets because that's something the Hive can do. So like there's so many selling points and like a lot of stuff that everybody can use at different levels and different techniques and niches that it really is like a band-aid over all business. Like it's so powerful, and like for me it's made my job a whole lot easier. So I freaking love it, and I think Anthony loves it too. He hasn't touched the CRM in a long time either.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, man. Like I've been running like a marketing machine, a marketing engine for almost 15 years, driving leads to my own companies and then even to other companies for other people, but I've never used a CRM. So I'm only dealing with red hot leads and nothing else. Absolutely no follow-up, for such a long time. So to now have to have a follow-up machine, yeah, no doubt that I've got more contracts in the last 5 months than I have in the last 2 years. So it's pretty cool. I think it's that what makes this super cool, makes the Hive Mind really exciting. You know, Daniel and myself, and as we were talking about this thing before it even came into inception, is like we thought we would like be teaching new people how to use the system, get them into the guru status, have them start doing a bunch of deals. But when somebody like yourself comes along and you're already crushing it, and then this just helps you take it to the next level, you know, I think we've seen that with Matt Rogers too, you know, stuff like that. It's like super, super exciting, man. So we can't thank you enough for bringing your good energy and then bringing everything that you are already doing, and then, you know, trusting the Hive with your business and helping us or letting us help you set up your automations and that kind of stuff, man. So like super, super excited just to even stand next to you, bro. You're crushing it.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it, guys, and especially Daniel, right? Because like in the beginning, you know, when you get to know a new system, it's like it can do so much. It's like a powerful beast, right? But Daniel was there. He answered all my questions, all the issues I had. If I didn't know something, Daniel was quick to, you know, get on a Zoom call, me, write me back. So I mean, just the support as well. Like I tell people, right, when you join the Hive, yeah, you get the CRM, right? But you join a community, right, of investors that can help you with your journey. And right, it's you have a support system, right? So you need some help, they get back to you right away. Versus maybe another CRM where you got to call like a customer service number, and then you may be on hold for an hour. I don't know. Dealing with the Hive, everything's just been quick, fast. You guys are like very supportive with any issue.
Yeah, I think what kind of really makes us want to, you know, stick to that is that we didn't create the Hive Mind like for the system, for the software, so that we can get a bunch of software users. We created the system so that we could JV with people all over the place. So it's like, yeah, if we can't help you get set up, you know, can't help you set up shop, help you get into momentum and actually start doing more deals, then, you know, that's a hindrance on us too. So I think the mindset that we came in on the complete opposite side, right, where somebody is just a CRM company and they're just interested in signups and just interested in monthly payments. And us, we're like, we're trying to do some deals. So we need to help our people. How can we help you do more deals faster? So coming into it with that mindset, I think, yeah, that really makes us want to be hands-on, quick. You know, somebody texts me and within seconds, I have them connected to the person they need to be connected with to make sure that they're fired up and that they are firing on all cylinders, man. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out and for actually experiencing that. Like heck yeah, it makes us feel really good.
So
yeah, that's awesome as well.
I really want to hear your side of the story of the Matt Rogers story, because we got to get Matt Rogers' side, but we want to hear your side of the story. So if you can kind of brush over how networking with other Hive members accelerated you to do even a deal with one of our Hive members. That's such an awesome experience, and us for just to see that too. Can you kind of brush over
All
that?
Right. Yeah, sure. Of course not, right? So Matt Rogers, man, Matt Rogers is pretty dope. So we were in this other mastermind together, right? It's kind of they do land as well, but they're doing it in like North Carolina. It's a pretty cool mastermind. But he hit me up and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, Deandre, I heard you talking a lot about the infill lots. You know, where I'm at right now, the rural land, I don't know, it's just kind of slowing down, right? So I just need kind of a kick, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem, man. Like, let me know where I can help and what I can do." And literally got on the Zoom call. And I think it was like maybe like, it was supposed to be 15 minutes, but I think it probably was like more like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And we were just talking, and I was literally telling him like, yeah, I'm using the Hive. I'm doing infill lots. I'm getting in contact with the building companies, right? So I basically kind of poured into him exactly what I was doing, how I was running my business, and how like where I was getting the help from, right? And how the CRM helped me out get to, you know, locking up all these infill lots. It's just in the texting, right? Because, you know, a lot of people do mail. I personally don't do any direct mail myself, but he was doing a lot of direct mail. So, and he didn't want to necessarily get away from it, but he wanted to get in contact with sellers a lot faster. I was like, hey, you want to get in contact with him faster? I recommend a CRM because you can text from it, right? And you get to keep track of all your leads. So long story short, you know, he joins the Hive. He basically gets, you know, he joins the Hive, he joins the community. And then right away, I'm not sure how he found the lead. He hasn't told me. I don't know if it was pulling a list. I don't know if it was driving for dollars, but he gets in contact with me. The lead he got from the CRM, he's like, hey, I got this property under contract for, you know, well, I think it was like 64,000. And I was like, hey, I got a buyer in that area right now. And I sent it over to my buyer, right? And my buyer was able to pay 14,000 for it. And then long story short, we locked it up. We both made about $7,000 a piece, and it closed in about 10 days, right? So I think it was a pretty cool deal, pretty fast. And it happened so fast. I was like, I'm looking at this check like, dude, like it just happened like so rapidly, right? And it was so unexpected. But he reached out to me. He saw me doing well in the infill lots. I poured into him everything that I knew, right, in that call. he was pretty experienced, so he kind of picked up on everything a lot quicker. And literally, he got the hive. He started reaching out to sellers through texting, right? Same thing I did. He took action, and voila, right? He got the results from it, right? Just like that, with the hive and being connected with the right people, which I think is pretty dope. Pretty dope. So I'm looking forward to doing some more deals with him in Florida as well.
Let me ask you this: did you direct him to target that area, or was he already marketing there?
No, he picked his own areas. I didn't really I didn't tell him what markets to go after. I told him, hey, I'm in Florida, a lot of land here. You got Texas, he's in California, right? So he can pick anywhere, right? But he picked Florida, which is pretty cool. And he had to pick that market himself, and he locked that deal up, and I was able to dispo it for him, which is pretty dope since I had a buyer there closing in 10 days. But now he picked the market himself.
And I got two things I want to touch on real quick. One is that I love seeing that you being a giver, just helping somebody out, spend some time coaching with them, boom, turns into cash in less than 30 days. So that's amazing, man. Yeah. So my hat's off to you for that. That's beautiful, man, to see you out there giving it, while you're getting it, and it's still paying you in dividends, man. So that's beautiful. I love to recognize that and talk about it. But then another thing too, man, is like, that's what the hive was designed for, right? Because I'm a marketer, I've been marketing for a long time, mostly across the whole state of Texas. And then I'm like, okay, now I want to get into new markets. Now I want to start to market in other states. But what happens when I get a lead in Fort Lauderdale? Like, I don't know what to do over there. I don't have any buyers there. I've never been talked to anybody over there. Like, what do I do? So yeah, and so that's what it was designed for, is that when a lead comes up in another hive member's market and you already have an expert there in that market, bam, you close something in 10 days. Like, holy crap. So that's beautiful to see that it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. And we're getting super excited about it the more that we see it. But man, it's super, super good to hear. That makes us feel really, really energized. So you have somebody that's in California, blast you a lead to Fort Lauderdale, closes. I have Mike Novak sent me a lead from Massachusetts to San Antonio, closes. Lupus, San Antonio, closes. So Mike Haran sending me deals here. We got 2 contracts a couple weeks ago. So it's pretty cool to see that you can rapid fire deals across the country. And then when you have a market expert already established there inside of your team, to see how quickly things can transpire, man. So super, super awesome. I'm glad that we had this talk, and to just hear that story, like, I can't hear it enough.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty dope, man, to be able to connect with people. And then when someone has questions, right, they can reach out to you directly, or they can post it in the Hive Mind Facebook group, right? Like, someone somewhere is gonna come out and answer your question to help you out. And if I don't know something, right, someone write to me, I'm like, you know what? Reach out to Anthony on this, right? Or reach out to Frank. Frank is a realtor and he does land in Northeast Florida. He'll maybe be able to help. So able to kind of bounce off, the people in our network, I think is pretty awesome. Like, I kind of feel like a connector, right? I'm like, oh, come to me. I can connect you with this person, that person, right? We got everything you need, right? Which I think is pretty awesome to have that network, like, that's reliable. So when someone sends me a deal in Texas, right, I'm like, you know what? I think I might have got Daniels in Texas, right? Let me give you his contact. You get him up, right? So it's just pretty dope to be a part of a community where you can use the people who are experts in the market, in which it kind of cuts the learning curve in half. You don't have to go look for the buyers. You don't have to do all like the front, like the kind of like the groundwork. It'll kind of happen real smoothly, right? Or even if it's not a deal, that person in that market say, hey, Deandre, that's not a deal. Like, at least we knew, right? Versus having on the contract for 2 or 3 weeks and we found out a month later, right? So it's really dope being part of a really good community.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Yeah, because that's what we were looking for, is like, how can you find somebody like I said, you get a lead in a foreign market. How in the heck can you make sure that you monetize that lead? Because we do all this hard work, right? You do get a lead in an area you're unfamiliar with after all the hard work. So what do? You put that thing into the garbage can, or do you rely on your ground contact there, man? So yeah, I feel super proud to have you there as our Fort Lauderdale contact. You're crushing it. You're on fire. So I can't wait to start opening up some marketing there myself. But we're always looking for those opportunities so that we can partner and joint venture with people. I think having pre-vetted partners is another thing too, because I see a lot of these Facebook groups and somebody asks, hey, I'm looking for something in whatever city. And they're like, oh man, you're so dumb. You could research that yourself. Like, don't be asking that, wasting people's time in this group. And like in the Hive, like, that's unacceptable. That'll get you blocked instantly. There's no warning shot. There's no nothing. So I think having pre-vetted partners across the country inside of our network, I think it's super powerful, man. That's beautiful to hear that. Yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree.
So I know you're going to be speaking here at the Hive event, August 28th and 29th in Dallas. Do you know what you're going to cover at that event? Are you going to be just kind of going over your basic, infill lot game, or what do you feel like you're going to cover there? Mindset stuff. What can we expect to hear from you at this event if anybody's going to make it there?
I do want to really touch on a lot with mindset, because I think majority of the people I talk to, right, doing real estate investing in essence is kind of simple when you think about it, right? But the issue is a lot of us, right, we have like this mental blockage where, where we can't keep going, or maybe we let some people get in our way, or maybe it's, oh, someone told me this and now I've been discouraged. So it's really I think it's really 90% mindset, right? So like I remember, like, I'll never forget when I was playing football, right? When the coach told me that football was 85% mental and 15% physical, I'm like, no way, I'm out here hitting these people, right? Like with my helm over here tackling, right? Not being soft. But then as I grew in my, playing football, I started to realize it was more mental, right? Like, this guy over there looks tired. I have all this energy. I'm gonna come after him because I know he's tired, right? It's all like who's more mentally strong, right? And it's more mindset. So I think it's the same thing with real estate, business, entrepreneurship. It's really more mental. It's really more of a mind game. And once you solve that mind game, then everything else can kind of flow, right? Because I tell people, right, I can teach you how to make money. I can teach you how to wholesale. That's the easy part. But I can't teach you to want it. I can't teach you to I can't really teach you to fix your mindset. You're gonna have to work on that in yourself. But I can give you books. I can send you videos. I can kind of tell you a little bit of the kind of the mindset I was in and how I got out of it, right? So mindset, if I can really help someone with the mindset, like get out of, like they can, kind of help with that mental blockage, and I think that'll be really dope for me, from my perspective.
Yeah, man. Thank you for bringing that to the table. That's powerful, dude. And I think that's, like I said, maybe some stuff you can't teach, maybe some stuff you're already born with. So I think we could use a lot more of that inside this community, because we can go over strategies for days, but if somebody doesn't have the mental staying power, like even we'll see it inside the hive, they'll join up, they don't do anything, they don't take any action, they don't do anything, and then they just bounce. It's like, well, dang, if you had stuck around, take a look at what we're doing, you could really level up here. So yeah, I think having that staying power, that mental game is huge, man. So yeah, we're looking forward to hearing from you. Like I said, you've been here since day one. So what we've been finding is that the speakers that are coming to the live event in Dallas on the 28th and 29th, I think they're all the people that have kind of either helped us build up to the hive, like by our real estate strategies, or they were around the software, enough at early on enough so that it's like kind of one of the founders. So for you being on stage, man, I feel like it's, super honored to have you, highly appropriate since you've been there since day one. So yeah, man, really, really looking forward to seeing you there, and can't wait to see what you bring to the table. I think you're going to blow the audience away, man, because you're crushing it right now, and we only expect bigger things from you. We know you're going to keep running. Like I said, you're building a team faster than anybody. I don't even think you know what that means yet, because you haven't even seen the payout plan for affiliates, like officially. But man, there's what you're doing right now. I think on the affiliate side, the income from the affiliate side of HiveMind is really going to compete with your real estate income, man. So I hope you keep crushing it. But yeah, I would really like to see your software income go nuts and kind of start giving chase to your real estate income. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And it's really it's just really being authentic, right? Just being authentic, being honest with people. Like, I'm just like, hey, this is what I'm using. It's working for my business. Give it a shot. It's free. Like, literally, you can literally get a free demo, right? And they'll take you through it, walk you through it. And then even some people, like the girl Sri, I don't know if you guys remember her. Like, she reached out to me, right? Got on the phone with her, got on a Zoom call with her, and literally showed her the hive. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing for my business. I'm not saying it's gonna work for yours, but here's working in mine. Here's how everything's flowing. And she liked it. She liked everything that she saw. And then she's like, I'm going to sign up. I really like what I saw. So it's really authentic. It's not pressure. It's like, hey, this will work for me. Maybe it can work for you. So when it comes from a kind of a natural, transparent place, I think it all works out. It all works itself out,
That's where you're living, man. You're living in that flow state where you're just willing to give. And then, yeah, for sure, the opportunity comes back for you to be able to receive. And that's cool, man. It's cool to watch. You're just pushing out, helping everybody, explaining through people, taking time out of your own busy day to help others. Yeah, and it just keeps coming back to you, man. So I'm cheering you on from over here in Texas.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Deandre, I think one more time, if you can drop your details, where your favorite place for somebody to be able to reach out and get a hold of you. We'll put a couple of links inside the show notes underneath. We'll put your Hive link in case somebody wants to join your team in the Hive. And then any other contacts you want below, man. So you just want to tell people where can we find you one more time?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Flipping Contracts Dre. That's all one phrase, no underscores, anything like that. At Flipping Contracts Dre, you can write me a DM. You can also watch some of the content that I put on my page. I do have some content, like some lots I wholesale, talking about memorandums, talking a little bit about just kind of everything, right? Just even I think even mindset I cover, right? Even land trust. I talk a little bit about land trust as well. So Instagram is the best place. Shoot me a DM.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Dre. Yeah, man, this was a powerful talk, man, and we're always looking forward to working with you, seeing you. Thank you for always being on all these calls and training everybody and always being a giver, man. Yeah, super admirable. Can't wait to see you get even further in your career.
Yeah, we do appreciate your time, and like I said, I feel like this is the base of a mountain, and I want to see really where you can go in the next 5 to 10 years, because a lot of people are looking at the now and like, if you're doing this now, where can you be in 5 years? Because I don't know. I'm excited to see it, man. This is dope.
Tell everybody how old you are, Dre.
25 years old. 25.
Golly, dude. I'm 40 years old. If I knew what you knew at 25, oh my God, you're gonna be the next Robert Kiyosaki, bro. You're gonna be writing books and everything. Man, you're going places, man. I can't believe how far you've come in such a short amount of time. You're a beast, man. So yeah, thank you for being on here. Super honored to have you in the Hive, and we look forward to speaking with you really soon, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. This interview was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Bye.